All right, hello everybody, and welcome on back. I kind of forgot what I was doing here. Surprise, shocker. So we're just going to do some farming. We've got some projects going. I'm going to be making a giant aquarium. We just made a bunch of furnaces. And this is how everything happens in this game for me. Like I'll be working on a project, I'll get sidetracked. That's why I put it in peaceful just because I'm tired of fighting just mobs. Like it's less stress. And see, here's the thing. Like I could put it back out of peaceful and put a torch every spot on this island like I usually do, and even put up a wall. So then, but that's just so much extra effort when I could just toggle it off. And you learn about that in tech too. Like when you're trying to test things and try to improve software, like a lot of times what you'll do is you'll switch things on and off so you can test them. And you have to try to replicate situations that caused errors or what have you, and yeah, so also we're gonna completely dig this out, maybe replace it with dirt. I don't know, or maybe this could be one of our little. Since I need all this sand. Also, we do have a desert over there, so we could harvest from over there. But I'm just gonna go ahead and dig this up for now. Oh, and it is so slow. We only found one diamond so far mining. I haven't really been mining in the deep slate, and I did a little mining off camera, but not in the deep slate. And so like I don't know. I feel like like last night my last musing was it was basically just me breathing and mining. And, like I was just watching it because I was just so relaxed, just so in the zone, and I love that. But then I forget that people are watching these things, so it's like, oh no, we need to be doing something. So, or I don't know. That's why I like streaming, but I don't like on Twitch because a lot of the times I was just doing mundane things, waiting for people to come and watch me do mundane things, where it's like, well, maybe they don't want to watch. And that was the other thing too, is because I'd start getting on a rant, like making some good points or something, and then somebody would ask a question or say something, and I'd be like, all right, cool, and totally like that's what you're supposed to do, but I don't know. Like, it's not really conducive for an environment where I can teach as I would like. And yes, this is teaching. I'm an instructor of things, of life, and not religious too. There's no tie to God. Like, if you don't agree with what I say, there's no problems with it. There's no repercussions. That's your right. Like, you should be able to disagree. That's fine. I mean, now don't be mean about it. Like, if you disagree, maybe let me know and be like, hey, I actually think this, and then we could talk about it. But nobody's really posted in the comments. So I think either, we're not really big enough to begin to that point, or it's a non-issue, and that might not happen. Like, because a lot of these ideas are hypotheticals anyway. I'm not saying, like, for sure, like, there is a God or there is no God. Like, I don't know. Do you know for sure? Like, have you seen her or have you seen him? And that's the thing I love saying around really religious people is, like, I call God a woman. Because that always made more sense to me. Is like, if whatever created us, I know what created me. I mean, it was partly a man, but mostly a woman. Like, and that's just biology. Like, I have a basic understanding of human biology, as everyone will of a certain age. Usually, you wait until about fifth grade. Fifth grade is where you start learning about adult content, and that's the thing too. Like my kiddos, like, sorry, not to give away too much information, but at the same time, I'm friends with people in the CIA and the NSA. So like, I have people looking for people hunting for kiddos that watch my back. So don't do it. Because I will press charges. Like if anyone tries to do anything creepy with my kids, well, not only press charges, I'll break your legs and I'll go to jail for it, and I don't care. Like, I've been to jail. Try me. I told my kids that one day. They look at me all wide-eyed, like, "You've been to jail?" Like, yeah, my dad has before me too. But that's the thing is, I come from a long line of rowdy boys. Like, they all served in the military. They killed people like for a living. Like, they had some pretty messed up issues, and then they come back stateside and they bring those issues with them. What do you expect? Like, freedom ain't free, and we say all these things, but it's easier said than understood. Like, luckily, I don't think I've had any relatives die in action. Like, but that's more than I can say for the people they killed. Like, and that weighs heavy on my mind. Like, my family is responsible for death. Like, I got to live with that. Imagine all the Nazis' families too. Like, granted, yeah, like how could you, sympathize with Nazis? Well, think about it. If you got a job, you're paying your family, you're feeding your family with being a Nazi, right? And then the orders come down that you have to take these people to this location. It seems sketchy, but okay, you're not supposed to question the Fuhrer. And then, oh, okay, now you're supposed to push these people back in the water when they're trying to cross a border. Okay, well, you're not supposed to question the Fuhrer. Well, guess what? That last one is actually what we are currently doing in the United States of America. We are pushing migrant children into the water, and they might drown. Like, we're pushing families of migrants back into the water, and it's sick. It's disgusting, and I'm embarrassed by it. So, how do I fix it? Well, I started with the video on immigration, right? I took the test. Well, the practice test. It's free, available to everybody, and that one does not have a disclaimer like the GED classes. Like the GED ones, it says in there is like this is the purpose of this technology is only so you can get a feel for it. You're not allowed to like redistribute it or something. And I think that's to protect against someone making money off of it. Like if I took the GED practice test, made another one, which would be really easy to do, and then started charging people for it, that's what they're trying to protect against. Like I'm not making money off of it. I'm trying to help people save money because here's the fact. If you don't have your GED, then chances are you don't have a good job making good money. Like that's just a fact. You can do it. It can be done. I'm not saying, oops, we're not even using a shovel. That's just how easy it is to break sand and dirt. Like it's not really all that bad, but still. So, anyways, let's get a bunch more shovels, and this is kind of going nowhere. We'll fill this back in with dirt. We'll make our island whole. But I'm gonna go secure. Oh wait, I did not set an alarm. We're already 6 minutes in, and that could have been bad. So now we're at 6 minutes. So I need to get 25 minutes from this. So that's about 9:40. 17 minutes, 9:50. See, if you're wrong, just adjust it. 27 minutes and 6. We'll make this one a longer one because it might actually get cut short. Because, like I said, any minute now. Oh, that would be one of those really depressing, like, knock on wood. But, anyways, no, it's okay. Do. Okay, we do need to get rid of this a little bit. Let's load it up. See, and that didn't take us much more than like a few minutes to go ahead and set up an entire. Ooh, we're actually almost spot on. Let's go ahead and get more. And we have beetroot seeds going. Not that beetroots are all that special. In fact, let's go ahead and. Let's see, we need stone. Stone and sticks. We don't have sticks. I think we could still get 4 shovels. Yeah, 2 shovels because you need 2 sticks. Okay, got it. And then do we have any wood or sticks or all right, let's chop some trees. Also, I don't think that's annoying. Okay, I have a little wood. I need to make axes. Let's also reclaim this. Or, no, whatever. Okay. So I don't know. So I made the video about the citizenship test just to see what all the hubbub was about. And the test is actually super easy. You take it a few times, you can learn it. Anybody can learn it. So that's not the issue. What the issue is it's over $1,000 now. It's like 1,170, I think, is just the fee to file the paperwork. That's it. Like you're just filing paperwork at that point. You're not guaranteed entry or citizenship. And so that's why a lot of people are just misunderstood about the whole citizenship thing. And I know a lot of the people that I know personally wouldn't be hooting and hollering and saying, make them come through the door, make them come here legally, if they knew how hard it was legally. So, and then a lot of them is just like, well, it's the birth lottery. Like, I didn't ask to get born in America. Nobody did. Like, we didn't have control over where we were born. So we won the birth lottery. We were born in a place that was already well established through a bunch of sketchy business practices, mind you. I mean, we had native genocide and then we had slavery to build this country. But it is great. It's a great country. It has a lot of stuff, a lot of competition, unhealthy and healthy competition. And it has a lot of people like, I remember like when the market collapsed, we had people jumping out of the windows of the World Trade Center towers. Jumping out of the windows. And honestly, if 9/11 was proven to be an inside job, I think that would be why, because those towers were kind of like a testament to how bad business can be, how ugly capitalism can be. Because yeah, that's killing yourself, jumping out of a building. Like it's dark, it's scary. Like, and that was a reality because people were literally ruined. If there's a beehive, nice. but they were literally ruined. Like their lives were over when the stock market crashed because they had no money. And then, oh, but then I was watching this video of Trump filed bankruptcy, I want to say 6 times. I'd want to like look that up to fact check it. But according to this video, and I just assume a lot of these videos are fact checked because, granted, I am one of the fact checkers on Twitter. I don't do it a lot, but I'm one of the, what is that, community notes people. So I have the ability to go in and see the community notes and agree or disagree with them. And that's it. Like, and my voice isn't really all that strong in the community because I don't do a lot of it. But there's a lot of people out there supporting or supplying articles, either supporting or uh, taking away from an argument about just about everything. I mean, no notes needed is something I see a lot because there's a lot of political stuff where it's more opinion, like, oh, the economy's never been stronger, and then somebody will post like a an article about how it's not, or parts of the economy that aren't considered strong. And that's the other thing too. I studied economics. I did microeconomics, macroeconomics. I did business classes, and I can still say that it doesn't matter. None of it matters. I mean, the one thing that my economics professor drilled into my head that taught me micro and macroeconomics was as long as there's growth, as long as there's positive GDP, I'm good. Like that's a good sign. As long as it doesn't start going down, we're okay. And I thought about that. I was like, why is that? Well, interest rates and money markets. Like we have money markets built around loaning and borrowing money, like and giving money. Like it's interest is the devil. Like interest is the real enemy. Because yeah, it's a great way to make money if you're a bank and you loan money out at ridiculous rates and then people spend a lot more money. Like you borrow 5,000 bucks, you're giving back like 7,000. It's like it's insane. And then student loan too. The interest on that because it is such a big debt that and that's why they're trying to get rid of junk fees from banks. They're trying to protect the Americans, like because all of these things, while yeah, it looked good on paper, this is actually causing people to commit suicide and to be depressed and to like end their lives. Like it is deadly to the American. It is a direct and imminent threat to our people. And people are starting to realize that. So banks are going under. Like I noticed my bank got really nice all of a sudden. And here's the funny thing about that too. Like so I've overdrafted a couple of times. I've paid that $30 fee and my credit's taken a hit. And I remember my football coach back in the day, he had that happen all the time. His checks would bounce at the burger joint I worked at, and nobody cared. Like we all felt bad. And I think, well, actually, I don't say. I want to say people would pay for it. I would have paid for his meal if I had money, but I didn't have money. I made like a few $100 and I spent that on like CDs, music, and clothes. It's like, granted, if see, that was a blind spot for me. I guess I did have the money. I respected the heck out of my coach too. I would have done it for him had I known that was an option. But I didn't see anyone else doing it. Like, I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. But he would come by and say hi to the owners. Like, he'd come by, say hi to me, like check in on me, see how I was doing. And he knew I was going through a hard time. But and that's actually how I got my nickname. His son, who was actually the quarterback, or no, his other son. Sorry, his other son gave me. He had like 3 kids, but like, and they all played football. But I protected his oldest son. Like I was the quick side tackle, the left side tackle. So I protected his blind spot against people tackling him. I didn't do my job every time. I tried, but like there were some big guys, and I accidentally let a few through. And try as you might. And so then I just went and lifted harder in the gym, or made myself more swole, more big, more aggressive, more whatever, because I didn't want to keep failing him. So like and I took that to heart. I saw the direct results. Like if I don't do my job, he gets hit hard. I don't get hit that hard. Like they're not coming for me. So yeah, it's just, and that was a very humbling experience. It was a very dangerous experience, but humbling. And and that's the funny thing. Gangs, they do exactly that. Like to get jumped in on a gang, you got to get beaten up by the members, and then they consider you one of theirs. A lot of times you don't actually even get beat up that bad. You just get hit a few times, body shots. Like, not that I've ever been in a gang, but I know plenty of people that have been, and like, ran into one of them just the other day at the gym. That was awesome. Like, he's doing good, but like, oh, anyways, I think, yeah, this might just be a really short one because watch, I think I hear them. I don't want to make them wait outside. So this will be like a little 15-minute video on. So U.S. citizenship, immigration. I'm actually looking into some nonprofits right now to see where I can help out. There's also the idea of building like a little settlement at the border. If each country donated 5 miles of land inward from the border, and just dedicated that to housing. Free and cheap house. No, free housing. Just free for now, or borrowed housing. Like you can live there, but you have to fix it up. You have to build it. You have to, work there and help contribute. So, anyways, yeah, I think I hear them. Oh, the joys of being a co-parent. Which, I mean, it's fine. Like, my experience, I don't know. I've had some pretty toxic relationships. Not this last one, but actually there was one since this. Oh, yeah, it's hard. And that's a whole nother set of musings that I'm going to be doing. Ethical non-monogamy, that's like the thing. That's going to be the new thing. So, and it's going to take a while for people to get on board with it. But once they do, I'm talking to another buddy about this exact thing. Is like once you do get on board with it, the rest of your life does become easier because then you lose the jealousy, the anger, the crimes of passion, all of the things that lead up to that. Oh wait, we were doing let's go get some sand. Let's dump some of this other stuff. Well, let's take back one of those and I don't know. I'll organize all this stuff at some point, but 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Ugh. I just need to clear out all this junk. I mean, not junk, really. In fact, we could even cook up this gold. I feel like, yeah, oops. Yeah. Put this back here. Okay. So maybe that wasn't my kiddos. I haven't heard them, or maybe they're taking their time, but, wait, now I gotta check to make sure I don't have a message. Oh, and let's talk about that real quick. So I have a messaging service with my co-parent because text messaging just wasn't working for us. No, I got a bill. Errol Gray. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't say that. I got to figure that out because someone found my work email and I don't know how they found it. I have some questions for them. Ooh, actually, yeah, let's go do that. So we can catch these tropical fish. Granted, we don't even really need that big of an aquarium because we have this nice warm water ocean. Ooh, what? I didn't know coral started forming on the... What? I mean, I kind of knew that, but I didn't. Like the blocks... Oh, yeah, we're drowning. The blocks, that makes sense because they're blocks of coral. But then I've had coral that grows off... Oh, I didn't even make that connection. I wonder if you can grow coral. And see, I think you need silk touch with this. I would just add to this, actually. Oh, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it. We're going to add to these coral blocks with all the stuff from the Wandering Traders. Yes, this is our new purpose. This is our new map. It's okay. And maybe I'll add this one to the realm. And I did put a lot of work into that, but it can all be redone. And that's the thing. You need to know if you're getting into the professional world, especially the tech industry, everything you do can be undone in an instant. And it's maddening. Like, here's a good example. Working with Excel. Oh, these are jungle trees. I mean, still cool. Don't get me wrong. I like it. But I thought these were spruce. So I was getting all excited. Ooh, there could be a desert temple over here? I need a map. Okay, yeah, we've got a lot of things. But first, let's go ahead and borrow some sand. And I try to do it to where it doesn't look obvious. I just take a giant chunk out. I'm trying to shape the edges of things to take off the edge. Ooh, what? There's some flat irons? Oh, yeah, this is my new seed. Oh, look at that. There's Tetons and stuff up there. So the Grand Tetons are some weird rocks that sit very awkwardly that it doesn't look like they should, but since nothing's really there to knock them over, they do. So there's this big thing of, oh yeah, that looks and there's this giant what is this, the Dead Sea, kind of just in the middle of this, I don't know. And I'll bet you there's a desert temple around here somewhere. Like this is a pretty good sized desert. At least I think. I don't know. I would need a map to know for sure. All right, so let's do that. So I don't think that was. There's a lot of new people moving into my neighborhood, so that could be, and even kids too. This used to be a retirement neighborhood, and same with like my trailer back in the day. I moved into basically a retirement trailer park that was just a bunch of old people. It wasn't officially a retirement trailer park, but it was basically like understood that like old people lived here. But I convinced one of the people to rent to me because I was a low threat, you know, like, and granted, I've done a lot of dumb things, but I've never been really a danger to anybody or myself. Like, you know, unless you, let's see. The only person that I really physically harmed very much was because we were arguing about him raping people. So, and he punched me first, and I defended myself. Very aggressively did I defend myself. I hurt him pretty good, but don't rape people. That's the lesson. And because of that, I was a hero amongst anybody that I dealt with that or I interacted with that had a record. Because the lowest of the totem pole are sex offenders, and as it should be. So, anyway, sorry. Now, I'm like waiting. Like, are my kids right outside the door? Are they listening? Actually, hold on. Let me check real quick. So yeah, you know, and I'm not saying that I'm perfect. Like I've had some questionable, I wouldn't say rapey situations, but like situations where maybe we should have waited until we sobered up. Like, but definitely like whenever a girl says no, no matter how drunk I ever was, if they said no, that kills the vibe. Then it's just like, okay, nope, nope. I don't want to do it at that point because like if it's going to come back like it was a rape or something, absolutely not. Because mostly because of the reputation, but also if you think about it, like okay, not mostly. Sorry, let me back that up because that's not true at all. I had to deal with the girls that this guy raped. Like, they came to me crying because I was the resident manager of the apartment complex. I was in charge of security. I was supposed to protect these women, and like, and I failed. I couldn't call the cops because I was kind of doing my own thing, and I didn't want them looking too closely at my stuff. So, like, yeah, which I mean, I did get in trouble for. So, and I will just because my kids might watch these, I'm gonna wait to explain that to them at a later date when they're older because at face value, it does look bad. It does. But think about that. I was security. I was in a position of trust to protect these college kids. And I did too. I stopped a lot of fights. I stopped a lot of dangerous things happening. And it's like, you know, and I was there and I was a big guy too. Still am. But like, same with my buddy that used to work at the Aggie here in Fort Collins. He was a mountain. Oh my gosh, he's legend too. Like people that used to go party there, like they knew him. Big old red hat. Before MAGA, by the way, he's a huge liberal. Like, which is kind of funny. But he used to wear a giant red hat. Like, oh, we'll go ahead and say his name, Red Hat Max. He's off there in California now. But like, you know, and if I'll say hi to him and stuff. Every now and then we check in on each other, like make sure we're alive. Like that's the sad thing is a lot of the party people are dead now. So, in fact, the Aggie just put up a banner for one of our friends. I wasn't even that close of a friend to him, but I knew him. I definitely hung out with him. I partied with him. We shared stories and sorrows and triumphs and all of the things that happen around a night of drinking. And granted, I'm glad that I had that experience. Like, I'm about to try to go to Saudi Arabia where alcohol is still illegal, and that's fine, too. Like, I respect that. Like, I hate alcohol. I mean, I'm okay with it for people that don't have a problem with it, but really anybody that has a hard life has a much higher chance to have a problem with alcohol because alcohol gives you that relief. That release, like it makes you forget about your troubles. Like, oh, the world isn't so bad. Things are kind of silly because it shuts off your brain functionality. It slowly kills your brain temporarily, unless you abuse it. Then you get what's called wet brain, where you can't actually talk right. You can't form sentences. You can't like, you know. And I wonder if that's even temporary too. Like, I wonder if your brain isn't so soggy from too much drinking from too long. Like, I wonder if you can regain the functionality. And I really want to say you can because like my uncle, for instance, he was an old school biker dude, military, you know, drunk all the time, partying, drugs, like all this stuff. And he's now over 25 years sober, and he's actually a very religious man. And that's part of the reason I respect Christianity is because I don't want to slap him in the face, metaphorically, or definitely not physically. He'd kill me, but like, no, and I would never want to. Like, never in my wildest dreams would I ever want to lay hands on somebody like that. Like, you know. I mean, unless I found out he raped somebody, then we would talk. We would have a discussion, and I'd make him go apologize. But, he wouldn't do that. Like, I don't know. I would like to think not. But then again, we're all humans. So you think about Brock Turner. So let's talk about him real quick. So he raped a woman behind a dumpster. He was out drunk. Like, he saw a moment of opportunity. He was feeling frisky, and he was like, okay, I'm going to go for it. Like, the bold and all that. But it's like, wait a minute. And had he been sober, I'm sure he wouldn't have thought that way. Been like, oh, no, this is a terrible idea. Let's not do this. But when you're drunk, it shuts off your brain functionality. You are not you when you drink. Like, and that's just fact. Nobody is who they are sober when they drink. Like, they make different decisions, poorer decisions. And yeah, so granted, they also might make better decisions too. It's not always poor decisions. Like, if you free yourself from the shackles of the oppressive thoughts of certain thoughts, like religion. I mean, in premaritals, that's the biggest thing that, like, I'm going to have a talk with the Pope about. Not like I'm anything special. I'm just going to politely try to talk to him and suggest things and, like, not be abusive, not be invasive, not be offensive. And I don't think that one tweet was all that offensive, but the people I were talking to were pretty much snowflakes. Like, and I hate to say that, but they were. Like, they're so mad about these other things. But then once you bring up, like, so, sorry, we were starting to talk about that either this one or the last episode, but immigration. We are pushing kids into the Rio Grande to drown. Like, we have zero cares, zero F's given. Like, we're pushing the people back in the water. Like, go die. Like, and that's the harsh reality. And now we're also locking them in cages that, there's like record heat down there. Like, people are going to start dying from heat stroke, and we're okay with it. Whatever. They're not people because they're not our problem. And so they lose their human aspect of it. And that's horrible. Like, if Martin Luther King were around today, his jaw would drop. Like, it. Because he did so many marches to try to help black people. Like, and I'm sorry, I'm going to keep calling that. Like, I'm not trying to, I know Morgan Freeman spoke out against Black History Month, but there was, like, colored people sound so horrible. That's like, I definitely know that's the wrong one. Someone else got in trouble for saying that on the news. But the plight of the African Americans or African descendant people here, and it doesn't even matter. Like, if you could trace your lineage back to the Caribbean, like, because, I mean, people from Africa, they've traveled, they moved, they lived, they're people. Like, why do you think there's white people? Like, there was white people all over the world when really they weren't. Like, they were all in a certain area, and I feel like that was more in the rainier areas, like Europe and England, and, people getting soggy because it's always rainy and cloudy and not as much sun. Because it's a pigment thing. Like, I was listening to Neil Tyson deGrasse talk about it once. Like, the actual difference between people of different ethnicities is like 1% or 0.001% or something ridiculous, like super small. Oh, and here's a funny thing. So when I was on my walk the other day, I heard this woman talking to her kids, and it was cute. They were doing sidewalk chalk, and they like had a bowl for it for other people to do it. And they're sitting there talking to the kids like, "Mommy, are people that are different color really different?" And she's like, "Well, yes, sweetie." I was like, "Oh, no, they're not. Like, they're people." Oh, it's like, would you say, I mean, they are different, but they're not. And I guess I could see where she was going with that. And I should have, like, tried to stick around and, like, hear the conversation, but that would have been creepy. Like, here, let me just eavesdrop on your conversation with your kids. Like, granted, it was, like, in a public area. It was like a public park, but still, it was just funny to hear her response. And my response to my own kiddos would be like, well, yes and no. And here's why. Because almost everything is a yes and no. Like, there's parts of it that are yes and parts that are no. And you need to break that black and white. I call it the binary bias just because I'm a computer scientist and we're used to talking about binary. It's a decimal system, or no, decimal is deca 10. The decimal system is increments of 10, like centimeters and all that good stuff. Wow, I need to start making better tools. I need to get diamonds. And then I need to get, let's focus on enchantments too. So we're level 21. We're not even going to get that many good enchantments. So we really need a village. And we need a map. So let's make a map. Let's start exploring. Oh, this is awesome though. I'm going to add to this coral reef. And in real life too. I was watching this thing where there's people out there that are rebuilding coral reefs because they're being destroyed by pollution, by human interaction with the environment. And yes, and pollution is really real. Like, I hate that so many people are out there saying that climate change is a scam. Oh, I'm being pushed by a dolphin. Notice it's keeping me above water. Wait. Oh, now I'm not. Thank you, dolphin. I would never want to kill you. Like, and even if you do, and they're playful. They take things like, Come on. Oh, where'd they go? Oh, the dolphin lost it. Oh. Oh, because I think it thinks that I'm drowning, so if I'm underwater, maybe it'll go to try to push me. I don't know. Either way, the dolphins are cool. Like, I don't know. Out of curiosity, I could see that. Like, what does a dolphin drop? And like for science, I might kill one dolphin, but I'm sure there's people out there just killing them, just be like, like for sport or whatever. And I never understood hunters. Like, if you're hunting for the meat, that's one thing. Like, I've eaten some really good jerky, homemade. Actually, from the son of I forget what his title was, but he was like the head Department of Wildlife guy for our area. And he also came and spoke at our ecology class. Oh, also, I need wood, which now that I know that that's jungle trees, I'm going to cut down some jungle trees. And then I'm going to plant some more. I don't want to, though. They've got the... Nope, nope. Let's make a map. Make a map. Let's get a chest. Where did I put all those chests? I think down here. Whatever. We shall build some chests. Oh! Oh! Okay. Oh. And actually, wait, are they up here? Well, there. There we go. Oh, oh. There we go. Had to be on the top. So now, cool. So I can keep the wood there for, let's just put this one here, whatever. I'll toss some extra flotsam here. Oh, this is good for our llamas. Although we really should fix this up. Let's do that, because this is where the llamas keep getting shot. Because when I do have mobs spawning, they're very inconsiderate, very rude. Okay, I need some saplings, but also... really should fix this so it could be like every other one. Llamas. And then, do we have a shovel? No, because we broke them all. Alright, that's fine for now. We can just leave it like that. Put all these extra fences here. And seeds. And... oh. Okay. Oh. Well, that's already number 2. Well, let's, oh, and even a 33-minute one. Well, let's just make sure I'm not missing a message. 'Cause I hate it when that happens. Because we don't text. We use an app for our communication. And that's yet one more thing that I got to pay attention to. And I do. I have like 3 or 4 personal emails. I've got about 3 or 4 work emails. I've got professional stuff. I segment my stuff. That's why it's maddening for people trying to... I mean, granted, there's probably some people with some access into my stuff, governments and stuff like that. My own government, definitely. Like, Google... I mean, that's why I kind of found it funny the other day. Google asked me to be part of this thing, and I don't know, like, I like being a YouTuber, but I like being a smaller YouTuber where I can do this thing and make entertainment, and I don't have to sell anything. And eventually I'll probably sell my own merchandise, but my own. I draw, I get my own designs, I make my own stuff, like, oh, please, 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 one more? All right, we'll chop down a couple of trees because we don't need all of these. It's nice. This one. We're going to make some massive trees on here because I do like that. Like, it looks really cool over there. I just really thought those were spruce. And now looking at them, I see the flat tops. And that's indicative of a jungle tree. But those are, I want to say, They're just really tall, so that struck me as like the bigger spruce trees. Oh, let's see. Gotta break this just to make sure that this will actually deteriorate. Okay, let's go check for, because we only need the 4 saplings. Oh, we do need, we're probably not going to get a 4th sapling from here. That's okay. We'll at least get 1 sapling from this other tree. Oh, jeez, I also just noticed that creeper blew up part of this tree. Yeah, that was a sad day. That is part of the fun of this game, because if it's like, it forces you to rebuild things. Like, you know, things will be going great, and all of a sudden a creeper will just blow up your base. Okay, let's force this along a little bit. I don't think it drops as many when you break them. I'm too impatient. But this is also why I don't like harvesting jungle trees. Also because jungle trees like to tuck little pieces of tree in other areas of the foliage. Oh, wait, we got to start another one. Sorry. Ta-ta for now. I will see you in the next